I'm Tom Vassell.
Z Garcia, hello.
Sam Healy, what's up?
All right, today we're doing one of our Christmas shopping guides where we're going to give you 12 great games, 12 games, and today we're talking about family games. Now, this could be for any family. It could be for not a family, just kind of a casual strategy style game. What's another good description?
A game
for
that works well for a mixed group of ages, you know.
Yeah,
you
number of
got
different
mom
ages, right?
playing with the kids and granddad wants to jump in there too. These are probably going to work out for that group.
Correct.
Right, okay, but you don't need kids for these too, some adults.
Nope.
Hopefully these are fun games. All these games, as the time of us recording this, are in print, so you should be able to find these online. We recommend our sponsor, Cool Stuff Games. Let's get into them.
Incorporated.
What do
All
you
right.
got?
My first pick is Oceanus, a game that has been put out by Yellow, the publisher. And in this one, you are all diving into the ocean, trying to find treasure, trying to study the most interesting little critters down there, gather coral, all of these things, sort of explore it all. And you are going to be doing that by both drafting cards, which come around to you from one player. You'll take one, pass the rest along, something like that. And then playing those cards down on the table in front of you, creating rows at different depths. As the game goes on, you'll dive deeper and deeper. And so you're making this gorgeous looking sort of panorama in front of you. And based on that, you will score some points at the end of the game. You have to avoid the Kraken. You have to do all these little different scoring opportunities. The ones you focus on, of course, is up to you and based on the cards you've been keeping. Really pretty game. Interesting, quick, clever. Love it a lot. Oceanus is my first pick.
My first pick is Carcassonne Amazonas. Now, this just came out in Essen a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago, and it is the newest in the Around the World series from the Carcassonne line of games. It plays just like regular Carcassonne, where you take a tile and you have to place it on the board that is ever growing with every turn that's taken. You have to match up the sides, make sure all of the different terrain types are matching. And but this one adds a little racing mechanic down the Amazon River, and whoever's in first place is going to be scoring more points throughout the course of the game when certain tiles come up than the people that are in second and third, fourth, and last place. It's really an interesting game. It's a beautiful board once it is set up and built and all of that kind of stuff. The artwork on the tiles is amazingly well done, but it is a great family game, and if you know how to play Carcassonne, you'll know how to do this one easy peasy. So go ahead and check that out. Carcassonne Amazonas.
Very nice.
Flick 'em up. You ever want to go out into the West and play cowboys? That's what this game is, essentially. It's cowboys versus outlaws, and you are flicking discs at each other. So my cowboy is a little wooden cowboy, yours is a little wooden cowboy, and we have little bullets, and we're just shooting them at each other. And you can get in teams, you get around the table, everyone's moving around and laughing at the amazing shots or really bad shots. But either way, you'll find that like little Johnny misses everything, and then that one time he shoots two outlaws at the same time, and everybody cheers. Things like that. It has that whole silly TV show westerns thing going on, and it's just a lot of fun. They make a more expensive version, and the newer version is plastic pieces, but that version seems to work just as well. So that's Flick 'em Up.
Very cool. All right, my next pick is Civilizations, which is spelled very weirdly, but that's because it's based on another game called CV that came before it. And in this one, you are going to be basically telling the story of your little cave people as they progress through time. And you'll be doing that by playing cards simultaneously with someone else to gather resources, utilize those resources, buy new inventions, progress through time. This is sort of a civilization building game in the absolute simplest form of that word, you know. But it's quick, it's engaging, it's fun. Everybody, I think, can get into it. The drawings are hilarious. It's got a very cartoony, very funny look to the whole thing. And the game is quick and light. I like it a lot. I think it's one that is going to go over with people that are going to enjoy sitting there and looking at the card illustrations and then telling, you know, the little story of what's been happening to your little civilization. You know, the way that what they've learned and how they've done it. Really fun. Civilizations is my second pick.
Just remember CV, and hopefully you can find the rest from there.
Yeah. My next pick is also a flicking game in the same vein as Flick 'em Up, but it's a little bit different. You're actually penguins trying to go get a snack, and you're cutting class in high school in order to do that. It's called Ice Cool, and the way you flick the different penguins will actually change how they interact on the board. You can flick it a certain way and it'll make a little curve, and so you can go through a couple of doorways at the same time. Well, why would you want to go through doorways? Because that's where the snacks are. The fish are hanging from the top of the
fish.
doorways. So you
about pretzels or
can
something.
take turns flicking your penguins around. The person who gets the through all of the different doorways first is the winner, but there's one player that is playing the hall monitor, and if that hall monitor catches you, then they get to take your ID card, and that gives them more points at the end of the round. And if they get all of your ID cards, then that's how the round can end in a different way. Basically, at the end of the game, whoever gets the most points is the winner, but it's a really fun game of flicking your penguins around the high school to try to get the most snacks. So that's Ice Cool.
Yeah, this one's really neat. It's fun for people to watch.
Not enough penguin high school games out there.
No, there is not.
Is it Ice Cool or High School?
It's Ice Cool.
All
High
right.
school.
The next one, do you like chess? Chess is a super fun game to play at Christmas time. Okay, this is a game that's similar to chess. It's called Onitama. It is a two-player game, but it's not nearly as complex as chess. In fact, you have,
Four.
6 pieces or 5 pieces? No, 7
No, yeah,
pieces per side.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, there's several pieces per side, and what you're doing is you're trying to take your leader, your samurai leader, and get him to your opponent's side or capture the opponent. And you have 5 cards to do that with. Each card tells you how you can move. Once you move a piece with that card, you switch it with another card, and then your opponent's going to get that card on their next turn. And so the 5 cards of movement are going to change every game. It's really a simple game, yet offers a lot of depth. It's really intriguing, and it's easy for people to play. It's not a complex game.
Nope.
You just set it up and play. And it also
minimalist.
looks really beautiful, too.
Very minimalist game, yes.
You can literally teach it in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
Tops.
jeez, you can play in 5 minutes, really,
Yeah,
if
you
you
can. Yeah.
if you get trumped. Yeah. All right. So
That's Onitama.
my next pick here is called Order of the Gilded Compass, and this is a dice-driven game in which you are going to be attempting to join a society of explorers. And you are going to be trying to collect sets and go to different places on the board to do that. You roll your dice, you play them out in different sets at different locations. And the game is basically that. You are collecting characters, sending them to different places. It's modular, so what's in each game is going to be different from game to game, the different places, the combinations expected of you from the dice. Quick game. Pretty interesting. This is a reprint of an older game that had come out before with a different theme. It's been updated, it's been prettied up, and expanded a little bit, and that's all in the box. And so Order of the Gilded Compass, I think, is a fantabulous game, and if you like dice-driven games, you're going to dig it. Order of the Gilded Compass.
Just glad people are starting to use Fantabulous more.
Fantabulous game.
Fantabulous. Another dice-driven
I
game
say, speaking
is
of dice.
called Kingsburg. Now, Kingsburg is a dice placement game. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but think of you're going to roll some dice and then you're going to use the pips on those dice and place them on different courtesans within the king and queen's court to get them to help you out as you build your village and gain the necessary resources to do that. Now, why would you want to build up your village? Well, because in the winter time, a bunch of bad guys are going to attack, and you need to be able to fight them off. The whole point of the game is to score the most
Like
points
orcs,
possible.
zombies.
Yeah, orcs, zombies, skeletons, all that different kind of stuff.
Yay.
So it's a really neat fantasy-themed game where the theme is just kind of there as an engine for the rest of the game. It's not really a thematic game, but it is a very fun game, one that you should probably check out. That's called Kingsburg. And if you can get it, to forge a realm, the expansion for it is a necessity. So check those out.
You want to be a pirate? You want to be a
Yes.
pirate on an airship?
Yes.
Yes.
See? You do?
I was okay with the first part. The second part, yeah,
On
sure.
an airship. Yeah, it's
Okay,
kinda
well, anyhow,
steampunkish.
Sea of Clouds. This is a very simple game where you're basically trying to collect treasure and collect different things. And you are doing so by each turn of the game, flipping cards over and then deciding essentially, do I want these cards or do I want to move on and let someone else have a chance to take cards? Eventually, you're going to have to take some cards. But you might be setting someone else up to take a lot better cards after you. So there's a lot of fun and entertaining. It's really simple. The cards are different things. Some give you treasure, some let you steal treasure from the people next to you because they're such good friends. Really easy to get into.
Shucks.
Okay, I'm going to try this your style, Tom.
Sea of Clouds.
Do you want to be a bug? Do you want to build flowers? You guys are not responding.
Nope.
My pick here is Lotus.
Maybe people want to be a pirate.
Yeah,
Or
but
a bug.
I want to be a bug and build flowers and then score those flowers and try to walk away with the most victory points. In this one, you are going to be playing cards to the table in order to build different flowers that have different numbers of petals, and you are trying to be the one who finishes it because you'll get all those petals, but also you want to be the one who controls the flower, has the most of your symbol out there, so you can score some bonus points for that. It's a very simple game, but one that's really driven by timing. You got to be careful with what you do when, and while the implications of what's going on are pretty simple, the cards you draw, the couple of actions you take on your turn are going to be very important. Gorgeous game. It's one that's going to look attractive on the table as you are building the petals. They have sort
really
of a
is pretty.
tessellation effect to them that makes them look beautiful, and it's quick. 30 minutes or so, you are done. You've just had this interesting game on the table that you can play with pretty much anybody, like we've said. So Lotus is one I would recommend from Renegade Game Studios. Look into it.
My last one for this category is another dice game called King of Tokyo, the second edition. The second edition isn't really necessary. If you can find a first edition, that's fine too. They both play almost exactly the same way with a few very, very, very minor differences. But King of Tokyo is a really cool, another kind of Yahtzee style game where you are rolling dice and trying to decide whether or not you're going to score points, heal yourself, attack other monsters
There we go.
who are in Tokyo, and if you're in Tokyo, you're going to attack all the other monsters that are outside of Tokyo. It's a really fun game of just a lot of dice rolling, and you really start kind of role playing the different monsters that you are. You have little power up cards that you can purchase by using energy cubes, and they give you special abilities that nobody else can do, just you. Just a really fun game. King of Tokyo, it's one of the staples in my collection, so go check that out.
Hey, you want to be a hot air balloon pilot?
Yes.
I'll stick with pirates.
Maybe.
Celestia. Now, Celestia is a really entertaining game. Almost could stick this on the party games list.
Yep.
Because in this game, there's an air balloon that is going higher and higher and higher. And you can jump out anytime you want and get points. But the higher it goes, the more points you'll get. However, if it crashes, you get nothing. And each turn, that's determined by someone rolling dice and then hopefully having the cards in their hand to match those dice. And you look at them, and they look at you, and you wonder if they have 2 red cards and a green card in their hand. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
Do you jump?
Do you jump or do you stay in and hope they have the right cards? Very entertaining. You'll see the balloon crash, sometimes a foot off the ground. You'll see it go all the way up and get a lot of points. It's a lot of fun push your luck game and just laughter all around, really. This
Yep.
is a very successful game that I've taught. It's called Celestia. And that's it. Families, those are games that we highly recommend for you to buy for your own family, or if you don't know what to get. These are good games maybe to buy for another family or someone for
Absolutely.
Christmas.
Yeah.
If you like this list, we have links to the rest of our lists at the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching the 12 Days of Christmas. I'm Tom Vassell.
Z Garcia, thank you.
Sam Healy. See you later, folks.
Do you want to be a snowman?